Hello, YouTube subscribers. Today or tonight, whenever you're watching this, I am doing another movie review, but it's not another Disney movie review. It's not a Marvel movie review. It's not a DC movie review, which I know I'm at some point gonna get to other Disney movies, as I said earlier on today. um that I would get to. I've been trying to get to other Marvel movies other than Spider-Man, because I know I reviewed like Spider-Man movies. I've been planning to review DC stuff, well, other than Batman. um so on. This is another horror movie review. If you guys can't tell by the title, Evil Dead Rise. Now, if you guys saw my review for yesterday that I explained basically right after work, I went to Richland, hopped on a city bus, hauled ass all the way to Richland as fast as I could on a city bus. Hauled ass to the movie theater, saw The Pope's Exorcist, did a review on it, and in the review I also said sometime later in the weekend and today, which today's Friday, one of my days off, that I would review Peter Pan and Wendy and Evil Dead Rise. Now, today, I did watch Peter Pan and Wendy. Today, I did release Peter Pan and Wendy's review. I know if you guys watched the Pope's Exorcist review, I did say also on that, most of the time, I do not like to post two reviews in one day. Most of the time, I do like to spread them apart, day by day. But today, I figured, you know what? Why the hell not? Today will just be one of those days where I feel like be reviewing and releasing two movie reviews in one day. So Pope's Exorcist is already on my channel. If you guys want to go back and watch that review, if you guys haven't already watched it, then you're welcome to. I also my review for Peter Pan and Wendy is already up on my channel. If you guys want to watch that, you can. If you're a old subscriber, welcome back. If you're a new person that's coming across my channel, welcome. I please deeply recommend not just my old subscribers, but newcomers that comes across my channel to hit that subscribe button. Please stay as a subscriber, because I do appreciate you guys deeply, and I just hope these welcoming arms that I reach out with is just not that tiring for you guys for you. Also, hit that like button if you like most of my videos. If you hit that dislike button if you hate most of my videos. If you hate all of them, then fine, that's you. If you like all of them, once again, that's you. That's your opinion, not everybody else. Which I'm okay with that. Everybody has their own opinion. Also, please leave a comment down below of whatever I fucking talk about. Now, so on into the review. As I had a very interesting day on the side of my mother racing home, picking up me so she could drop me off at the theater. And not just me, also Chucky. I took Chucky along with me because someone, one of the workers at one of the phone companies that I go through, since my mother, my sister, and I's phone bill was due today, and I did promise one of the workers that they could see my doll. So that's why I brought it with me. But also on the side of that, everybody had a heyday. Everybody had a fucking heyday. Because I just not literally dragged the doll with me, but like, I was holding it like it was a fucking trophy. Everybody was just staring at me, applauding me, not really laughing, which I was expecting, but nobody was laughing. They were smiling, and thought I was a fucking nutcase, and scared a few people. But anyway, other than that, on the way to the but before all of that Chucky fun nonsense, I went to the Kennewick Theater, not the Richland Theater this time. I actually went to make it easier on myself, because if I had the opportunity yesterday, I would have went to the Kennewick Theater as well. But I just saw it would be a lot faster if I catch the Richland bus right after work. So I went to the Kennewick one, since I had more more lenient time. I went to the 2:40 p.m. showing. I took seats 6 row C. The screening was all the way back in the corner of the theater. I think on this side of the theater. Yeah, it was this side, because this side was other things, but this side was the Evil Dead side. And it was all the way back. Screen 9, the room 9, the 9th room, and it was all the way back in the corner. And I'm like, okay. Which most of the time that happens. I go to a movie, and most of the time that 100% movie that would be is a horror movie. And most of the time, 50 out of 50 chance, it would be all the way back in the theater, which room? Most of the time, the corner. The room in the corner. Doesn't matter what side. Sometimes it's always in corner. Which it helps the fear factor. It does. It helps the fucking fear factor. Don't say it doesn't, because it does. But went in after I got my popcorn, soda, and 2 hot dogs, because you can't just have popcorn on an empty stomach. But Evil Dead Rise. Okay, there's a lot of things I gotta say, to be honest, which I'll get to. I know. I did this with Scream. I reviewed each movie before I went to go see the latest, newest one. Except this year's. This year, since I already figured I did reviews like last year, I would not do a review of each movie again. Even though I could have done a rank video. I'll do that later. But later, I will do a review for each movie of the franchise of Evil Dead and the TV series, because I always count that since it counts in the timeline of Evil Dead. And I will do a ranking, but which I did not expect to go see Evil Dead Rise. Like, I didn't expect going to see The Pope's Exorcist yesterday. Yesterday was a bit of a shock. I did not expect going to the theater, but I did. I didn't expect to go see Evil Dead Rise, but I did. I was just expecting to watch Peter Pan and Wendy. But I figured, you know what? Let's have a heyday of a week. Evil Dead Rise, shit, there's a lot that I want to throw on the fucking table. First of all, as I will get out of the fucking way, when the movie started, right when the movie started, I'm like, okay, chilling, or not, what, instead of, we're gonna basically start out the movie the way the one of the trailers started out, with the two girls and the dipshit guy. Which in the trailer at the time you didn't know the guy was a dipshit. But which I love that scene. That scene was fucking brutal. I mean, in the beginning, when the guy comes into the picture because he's playing with one of those things that one of those drones, remote control drones, and I think it had a camera because he's like, "Oh, you should have saw the look on your face," because he almost got her in the face with it, and she got scared because one of the girls was sitting at the dock with her headphones on, reading a book, and that's when you actually realize and find out he's a dipshit because he was a total dick to her. And honestly, I really don't know names. I really don't give a shit for those characters. I'm not trying to be mean. They were basically throwaway characters, as I can put it, nicely as I can put it. Throwaway characters. To get the audience hyped up for the movie, because then you actually, after she walks away from the dock and the asshole guy, she meets her friend and she's like, okay, if you don't say anything in the next half hour, your dipshit boyfriend's friends aren't showing up. And since they're not showing up, I can't handle your dipshit boyfriend anymore. So yeah, once again, if you don't say anything in the next half hour, I'm gonna go. And then she turns around, sits in a chair, opens a book, starts reading it, and then all of a sudden you see her friend, after twitching on the fucking bed, laying her like she's possessed, which, okay, it's obvious by now. If you're in a horror movie, and I know you're acting like you know you're not in a horror movie, but if you've seen a horror movie, one or two, and you see your friend just crumbled up in the middle of the bed, not with a bucket of ice cream, because obviously she still has a boyfriend, even though he's a dick, royal pain in the ass, and her shoulders kind of like not really moving as much, but she's kind of moving. She's possessed. But hey. And then all of a sudden you see the chick setting up. I don't know, like Indian style on the knees or whatever. All you see is her setting up in the middle of the bed. Back towards the other girl. And then all of a sudden she starts reading the words that's on the page of the that her friend is on and about to read. Where he starts creeping everybody out, which, to be honest, yesterday for the Pups Exorcist, I had the whole theater to myself. Today, I only had one extra person in the theater with me, so. But, to start the fucking creeping hell out, if the drone wasn't enough, the drone jump scare wasn't enough, it's basically another repeat of what they did in Evil Dead 1, most in the series, and the remake, if you prefer it to be called a remake, a spin-off, sequel, so. Which I'll get into that. Which I know I'm gonna probably get a lot of negatives for this shit once I get into that. Not just from my friend Barrett later on in this week. When I go back to work. I saw your video review, and no, you're wrong. But, and then all suddenly, by redoing that scene, she falls off. She technically, kind of rolls off the bed and starts shaking like she is having a seizure or something. Foam coming out of her mouth, puke, and then all suddenly after her friend has, her friend facing straight towards her, she throws up. Or I think she throws up after she falls off the bed. I can't remember that part. That part exactly. And then after she stops having a seizure, all suddenly she starts doing this to her friend and rips her top of her friend's hair out, and let's just say I had my hair pulled once or twice, but shit, I can tell that hurt like lots worse than just a fucking yank. And then all suddenly, you get another jump scare when you see the friend's blood coming down. You see how top of her hair is gone, and you could see like maybe like the skin or skull or something. And the dipshit guy, he's like, "Oh my god, what happened to you?" And he's like, "Babe," and all suddenly she just jumps into the water, and he dives. Well, she doesn't jump, she falls in. And he dives and right after her because he supposedly loves her. And all suddenly she, as he quickly swims up for her, as you think he's getting her, and he calls her, no, she turns around, he's panicking, help me, and she drowns him and rips his head off, and you basically know she ripped his head off because she throws it out of the fucking water. Her friend panics. She rises out of the water, which the girl has possessed. She rises out of the water, which I'm like, and then you could see the title card rising up, and I'm like, Evil Dead Rise. A, so cheesy. 2, convenient because it rhymes with the title, Rising. Or Rise, not Rising, but Rise. So, but anyway, and then you actually jump, and then one day later, well, not one day later, but one day earlier, you actually meet one of our actual main characters, which the first scene she sees, and you actually finds out she's pregnant because she apparently to her sister that they when during her sister's possessed, you actually find out that she can't keep her legs shut. So she takes a pregnancy test, I think twice in the movie. And the way she looks like she's part of that. She's in a band, and not a nerd that can fix technology. Which it's actually understandable. You are in a band. You like to get fucked. That's what bands do on the side of making music. They like to fuck people. Most of them are their fans, but she in shocked, but also upset, shocked, because honestly, I can tell this happens so many times on the look of her face of fucking people. She gets pregnant. And one of the band members, he's like, "Babe, are you okay?" And then later on, she basically, that you don't see how the ending result is. The next scene, you see her not driving herself, but basically the Uber drives her to her sister's, and basically the building that they are currently in, that her sister and her sister's children are in. It's basically the same building that is in every single, all three, Tobey Maguire, Sam Raimi's, which of course, because it's Sam Raimi, he was the director of all three of those, and also the fourth one, if there was gonna be, since there was gonna be a fourth, Daily Bugle building. Which, yes, you can tell that it was that building because the way they tilt up the camera, and the way that building is, and the angle that they had it. Because if you go through all three Spider-Man movies of Tobey Maguire's, Sam Raimi's Spider-Man movies, he always showed part of the building, the front of the building, with the windows in the front. There was windows in the front, and also the windows on the side. Now it was that same angle for that building, and that's how I knew it was the same building that they were using. And then they find the book, which, okay, I got to admit, the book is cool, it's unique. Honestly, did I like the 2013 one? Yes. The design for the 2013 one was cool. I just wished it had one more unique detail to it, just like this book had. That on the side of it, of course, having skin as the cover and skin as the page, which you could actually tell it was skin for each page, because you could hear how it doesn't just sound like a page of a page of a paper. It also sounded like skin every time when someone turned the page in that book. You could hear um, like it, like skin, like it was still wet by like blood or whatever, and hearing each page getting turned and apart from each other, you could hear that, and it's disgusting, and I liked it. That was awesome. That I wish they had it in the 2013 one. Just like how this one, how this one was unique with teeth. It had teeth. I'm not talking about Harry Potter spider style teeth. I'm talking about fucking teeth on the side. Razor sharp teeth. And it opened after it had the taste of blood. That uniqueness, I wish something like that they did for the 2013 one, but they didn't. So, but the bug for the 2013 one was still cool, but the bug for this one was a lot more cooler. Um, 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 had an earth, and how they found the bug. There was a earthquake, the ground shaked, which I seriously doubt it was an earthquake. Please, not trying to be mean. It was the fucking book. If you have something that was haunted, buried, and I don't believe it was a bank either. I mean, okay, fine. I mean, throughout the years, throughout the ages, I believe it started out as a church and did not start out as a bank. For that kid to find the book there in a fucking bank vault and the 2 record discs in a bank vault, please. I mean, okay, yeah, the church could have a vault. I mean, I know some churches movies show that. I know in some movies they showed that church have vaults, which then they could have tear down the building, or just turn the church into a bank. Then it became a bank, and then they tear down the building at the bank, and then built except the bank vault. Magically, the bank vault just somehow to still be there. Which, okay, throughout the years, I wish I got into Evil Dead a lot early, because I would have thrown these fucking movies at my teachers. The reason why I do not want to read a fucking book is because if you pick up a book, open it, and start reading it, bad shit will happen. Always. That is why I would not like to pick up a book. Because there's always some dumb reason harm will come from a book. The Mummy from 1999. The Mummy. No harm came from a, are you sure you want to be reading that thing? Actually, I think, are you sure you want to open it? Are you sure you want to be reading from that thing? And she turns around, it's a book. What harm came from ever reading a book? You all got the freaking Mommy. That shit. And then with the Nemmer Comic Con, which actually each book from the 2019 one was not called Nemmer Comic Con, which I know I'm saying that weird, but you know what? It's the only way for me to say it, because I'm not normal, I'm not perfect. 2019, the 2013 Evil Dead book and this one's book was named 2 different names, which I'll explain that later on. Um. So yeah, if you find a book that's dusty or whatever, don't touch it. Don't touch any book. That's what I've learned in my lifetime. But throughout the film, it's basically the same re-premise. What, except you got two sisters. One of them's already a mother to three. One boy, which you could tell the son was born first. Two daughters. The first daughter was the second child, and then the youngest daughter, which of course the youngest would be the third. The son finds the book, but the one of the sisters that came from the band, but you actually learned out wasn't actually one of the actual players in the band. She was just the technician. She was just an electrician nerd that likes to play with technology. So, but the son of the older sister finds the book. And he honestly, the way he played the record is the way how he made his own music. He actually made music. The intro we see him and all the kids is okay. The son, he likes he was he had his headphones, music jamming, making his own music with the records spinning and whatever. I don't know what the technical name that is. And then the daughter, we see the daughter coming off her baby doll's head, which I'm like, okay, that's weird. That's psychotic sign 101. The daughter is psychotic when that's not really the reason at all. And then the second child, she's just a rebellion normal daughter caring about the earth in some point of view. Ugh. And then the mother just trying to have a normal life, for trying to stay strong for her kids while trying to move out, because her and her kids, and not just her and her kids, everybody else that's in that building is getting kicked out because that building is condemned. It's about to fall to ash, which, no matter what, if that building was about to fall, the book would have gone out one way or the other. Now, the way how the son played the record was this. He grabbed the book, him and his first sister looked at it. Well, he was trying to open it and scratch his finger, and then a few drops of blood got on the top of the book, and it like the cover of the book drank the blood. The teeth opened, and there's teeth on each side, so they like wide open, like this way. And then he thought his eyes just wide open. He just started flipping through the freaking book like it was a child's book. And then after the sister left, he started playing with the record, hearing what's on the record by doing this, since he didn't really have a record player. That's how they released. That's how the Kandarian demon got released. And then the premise just basically with the same premise mixed in with the original with the 2019's premise, where basically you got the hero just trying to survive, just trying to save her nephew and nieces, praying she could save her sister, but no. Lost her nephew and her niece, but she was able to get the youngest niece out of there to safety. A lot of vomiting. I'm not kidding you. Which you could tell it was milk that they were using, or some type of white shit they were using for vomiting. What happened to green? Like, there's not just green vomit, I know that, and there's not just white vomit, but there's also like brown coloring. There's like a light baby green. So, but anyway. And then the sister, the main hero antagonist, on the side of the young niece. The young niece is also a hero antagonist. Comes along and helps each other save the day, and which the reason why it says it copies also the 2013 one is because in the 2013 one there was the monster and a page. They showed a monster that would come out of the ground and rule the earth. Basically, every book showed that. Which at the end of season 3 of Ash vs. the Evil Dead, which I'm pretty sure the Nami Comic Con had a page, because at the end of season 3, well, not the technical ending, but like in the middle of the ending, one of the parts of the ending, it showed the main big bad monster that would come out and play and end the world. It also done it in this one too, where it had a page where it showed the final form of the monster we're gonna see. Bunch of arms, spider monster. And it, which the two kids got possessed with, on the side of the mom, basically crawled into the mom, and the mom with the two kids became like the spider monster as it showed on the page. And then at the end, while the young niece and the aunt shared the chainsaw, which of course there's a chainsaw scene. Nobody loses a hand like Ash and Maya did. Which I guess that's positive, but still a chainsaw scene which they use with, on the side of the chainsaw, a one of those machines that you shred wood, or like or like garbage or whatever, and it flies out on the other side. They also use that to stop the monster. And then happy ending which actually makes sense later on, because at the end of the movie, you actually see the friend that got possessed in the beginning. You actually get to see at the end of how she got possessed, because it said 1 day earlier. full fucking circle of what we saw in the beginning. So, basically, as obviously we saw in the beginning, would have been an ending. Felt like ending more than the beginning once it went full circle. You could tell everybody died. And that Deadite is still somewhere out there. Going through all that story again, what do I think of the premise? Action, horror, a lot of blood, a lot of vomit, a lot of good fighting scenes. It has a very good story plot. It does. It really, really does. Every Evil Dead movie has a very good story plot. Doesn't matter if it's the 2013 one, original, sequel, third sequel, or the TV series. It has a very good story plot. But the one thing I really like to argue with everybody, whoever is an Evil Dead fan and that's watching this, the one thing I was actually waiting most of all to get to, the book. Yeah, the book. Last night, I actually decided to do a little fun extra research. I wasn't gonna do anything except the trailers I already saw. But you know what? There was a video I saw of the director talking about the books. The title of the video was 3 Books? Question mark. Actually interested me. So you know what? I figured, you know what? I was gonna see the movie tomorrow, which was gonna be today, because it was last night that I watched it. I would watch it. I mean, what would hurt? What would be the spoiler that the director himself would spoil? And Barrett, have you ever watched this? I know you're gonna hate me for it too. And not comment. You're gonna wait until Monday to argue with me about this. I know you will. Yeah. Because the director of this one went to Sam Raimi and he's like, you know what? In the third Evil Dead movie, that you didn't call Evil Dead, you called it the Army of Darkness for some reason. And you showed 3 books. And even though all 3 was supposed to be a gag joke, gag, because it had the same cover, the same look, and the 2 books out of the 3 was supposed to be a bad copy. Not like the actual book itself. But Sam Raimi actually heard him out on this. And actually liked the idea. Actually liked the idea after he heard them out. The director's like, what about this? Okay, you got the original one. And then in the 2013 one, you got the second one, which named a lot different. And you and the actor that played Ash, Bruce Campbell, helped it on the 2013 one. And in this one, a third book. also has a different name, and even in the 2013 one and in mine, both have a different cover, different details, different pages. What if it all, not just this one, Barrett, not just Evil Dead Rise book, but he did say the 2013 one and the original one all goes back to the Army of Darkness scene, $3. That there were actual $3 that Ash never knew about. He just knew about the one. Now, as I am a big fucking collector myself, I do love the 2013 one myself. And I understood where the director was going, and so did Sam Raimi. That's why he liked the idea, because then Sam Raimi knew. Then he stepped in after the director was air quoting the it goes all the way back to Army of Darkness. Sam Raimi nicely interrupted and finished that conversation and said, where we could get Bruce Campbell to come back to play Ash again, Pablo, Kelly, Brandy, Maya, and the two new characters that we just introduced. They all come together like Sam Raimi first original idea for a sequel after the 2013 one. It's in the apocalypse world as Sam Raimi originally wanted as a post-credit scene or something in the Army of Darkness. So, and the director and Sam Raimi shared the same mind, had the same idea, and they're like, that could be our sequel. If we could get, and he honestly said this in the review of the video I watched, if Sam Raimi could help me convince Bruce Campbell to just fucking come back for one more movie, one more Evil Dead movie, to play Ash one more time. Not just himself. By himself, no. But also reunited with Pablo, Kelly, Brandy, and also newcomers that he would meet that would already be with Pablo, Kelly, and Brandy would be Maya from the 2013's Evil Dead, and the two characters we got introduced with this one. That direction I could see, that direction I actually would seriously love. And I know to a certain point, my friend Barrett would too. He would love that idea because Bruce Campbell get to come back. And honestly, as the end of this video, I will say, as a ending note, Trick or Treat Studios, as I'm holding one of their props in my fucking hand right now. I love the way how Trick or Treat Studios displayed this book. Made this book. It is phenomenal. But what I will say, if Trick or Treat Studios don't realize right now, this year is a very big year for Evil Dead. Permanently. So let's jump on that hay train of green of Evil Dead and start doing merchandise. Which, something I've been asking for. The missing pages, or at least a few of the missing pages from Evil Dead 1. The new pages that was added in Ash vs. the Evil Dead, and the actual real missing pages itself from Evil Dead 2. And you know what? For the hell of it, I would like to see Trick or Treat Studios in all its glory with every single fucking page from both books. Both. Not just from this one, but also from the 2013 one. The 2013 Evil Dead and Evil Dead Rise from 2021. Honestly. Maybe, yeah. Possibly. Oh wait, this year's 2023. Forgive me. 2023. Evil Dead Rise. Book. Both book, which each of those pages from the classic films. So in that way, every Evil Dead fan would not just have each of the generation movies, and not just have one single book with the pages that we've been missing for years from like certain part of the movies and shows. But we would actually have the other books with every single page from the 2013 and the 2023. So when that movie finally comes out, where Ash gets reunited and meets the newcomers, the Ghost Speeders and the newcomers of the Ghost Speeders, and Ash finds out there's more than one book. There's 3 books that they have to re-find again. Because I don't know. I'm guessing that Pablo, the Ghost Speeders lost the first book, the first volume. So they actually have to go set out through the apocalypse world, find every single 3 of the books to save the world and end the apocalypse. And that would be a happy ending to the Evil Dead franchise completely. Until someone probably has a hair out their ass, begs to Sam Raimi for one more Evil Dead, maybe movie or trilogy, and magically, wink wink, create a new book. Also, on the side of that ending note, on the ending that I thought that was going to be the ending, but no. One of the guys that gives out the tickets, he was nice enough after the movie and offered me, if I wanted it, a poster. He offered me a poster, which I actually like, because it actually says what they displayed for a while. So I actually like. So drop a comment down below. What did you guys think of this Evil Dead movie? Did you guys like it? Did you guys not like it? What did you guys think of this movie review? Did you guys like it? Did you guys not like it? What was your favorite scene? What was your favorite quote, sentence? What was your favorite funny scene? Because I know they had a few. And so on. Whatever. What's your favorite Evil Dead movie? And once again, so on. Have a nice day or night whenever you're watching this. Obviously, it's nighttime right now because I don't have my light on. Because when I have my light on, because I have the curtains over my light. Actually, that's kind of cool. Shit, son of a bitch. I should have done that a lot earlier. Anyway. Actually, it made the video a lot more kind of scarier. I actually liked it. Have a nice day or night whenever you're watching us. Peace.